Did you know there's a very old bug in Bloons TD 1 that has not been fixed to today? So for this, we're going to go ahead and start a new game, and wow, Bloons TD 1 is extremely old. There's like what, 5 towers only, and we have to deal with these 5 towers. So here's how we can make this bug happen. We're going to place down a tack shooter. Man, there's used to be only 5 towers, and considering that this used to be a flash game, the graphics is honestly quite cool. But anyway, we're going to put down a tack shooter right here, if we can. There we go. And we're going to start the round. And yeah, Bloons TD 1 looks very old compared to the Bloons TD 6 that we all used to and love today. So yeah, this is a very strange bug. So let me go ahead and show you guys the bug. Or rather, let's finish the round first. So in case you guys didn't know, you can press tab. If you have to press the tab first, and then you can press tab so that you can see a yellow box highlighter. Now this yellow box indicates, well, things that you can click on. In this case, we want to go to faster shooting, and what we're going to do is just press the space bar. And we're going to keep pressing the space bar. And even though it doesn't show, you can pretty much tell that the money is kind of in the negative right now. And well, I can't press space bar anymore, but look what happens when I start the round. Oh my god, look, the tack shooter is just shooting out tags really fast. So let's try this again, but we're going to restart from the start, and we're going to place the tack shooter at the... Actually, let's leave the tack shooter here. So for this to work, we have to not move our mouse around, so you have to be very careful when you want to use this. And we're just going to keep pressing the spacebar until we feel like stopping. How about $100,000 in negative money? And yes, this is negative because, as you can tell, when I start a round, see what happens when the balloon is popped. The number goes down. Your money is not supposed to go down. It's supposed to go up, but it's going up because the numbers in the negative. Also, unlike the Bloons TD 5 and 6, there is no auto start, so we kind of have to deal with this annoyance. But yeah, I'm not even joking. Look at this bug. Like the fact that you could just purchase something, and keep in mind you can't like it's not a bug where like, oh, you can still upgrade stuff that you obviously can't afford to upgrade. Like, if I were to repeat the tab trick again and try to do it on towers that I haven't even purchased yet, well, actually, it works. I'm surprised it works, honestly. But look, extra range tags. How about global range tags? Like, Jesus Christ. And look, there's actually a range number at the side here. So let's try to get to 1000 range. And also, it's not like the range matters anyway because the tags won't even reach that far. And now the problem is, whoa, okay. I guess these are truly infinite range, but it's kind of hard to tell. Actually, it's impossible for us to tell whether the tags are infinite range. But there's one way for us to find out whether that it really does have infinite range. What happens when you place a tack shooter directly in the middle of the map, and then we try repeating the same bug over again? So let's see what happens when we start a round. Well, let's pop the balloon. No, it doesn't. It grants extra range, but guess what? It's not long enough to pop the balloons. But either way, we can still afford faster shooting again. Well, sort of, not really, but there you go. Have some hypersonic tack shooter. But does this bug works on other towers? Let's say, can we place down a tower? No, we cannot, which should be pretty obvious, but that's a shame. And yes, this money is still in the negative, meaning that no, we don't have enough money to buy it. But does this work on other towers? Let's try on the Dart Tower. So let's see what upgrades the Dart Tower have. We have piercing darts and long range darts. So piercing darts means that it can essentially pop, well, you have basically infinite pierce. And of course, we also have long range darts, which in theory, I believe it works similarly to a tack shooter in the sense that technically the dart monkey can get infinite range, but like it's not going to do anything since, you know, the dart can only go so far before it expires. Also, oh my god, the balloons are like so off center, which I know was probably a design choice for Bloons TD 1, but like god damn, isn't it so much better nowadays that the balloons actually followed a path in like a proper line? That looks so much better. But anyway, now we have enough money, so let's sell our Dark Monkey for an Ice Tower. Actually, we don't even have enough money for an Ice Tower. Oops. Aww, we lost. Let's try again though. Now we can go ahead and purchase our ice tower, which honestly, yeah, it looks so weird saying that this is not an ice monkey. It's literally just an ice tower. So let's see what we have. We have long freeze time and wide freeze radius. So I think you guys can guess what we're going to try and do this time. Let's start off by getting infinite freeze radius and see how effective this is. Well, that's the problem. It doesn't really have infinite freeze. But you know what it does? What it has infinite of? We can get long freeze time and it will just make the freeze duration infinite as long as you press it, well, an infinite number of times. So let's just treat this as infinite and let's just start the round. So let's see how long the balloons will freeze for now that this upgrade is purchased. Well, essentially forever, except here's the thing. This tower is useless. Why? Because unlike the Bloons TD6 counterpart or even its Bloons TD5 counterpart, it doesn't pop a layer. It literally just freezes. That's the entire point of this tower. So it's more of a support tower than anything. It's kind of like Glue Monkey but even more useless somehow. So yeah. Now of course we can also test out a Bomb Shooter and the Super Monkey, but I'm just going to say in advance that the Bomb Shooter, it's not that good. All it does is bigger bombs and extra range bombs, which we already tested. Extra range doesn't really work, and bigger bombs, well, I think you guys know what it does based on Bloons TD6. And Super Monkey only has one upgrade, and that is epic range. So you already know how range works in this game, so yeah, it's definitely not going to work. But you know what's the funny thing about this bug? Is that they haven't fixed this bug after all these years. And not only that, this bug can still be found in Bloons TD2 as well. Speaking of which, here, my friends, is Bloons TD2 with an improved logo, also delayed sound, because why not? So there's actually easy, medium and hard this time. The only difference is that there's different maps for all of them, and there is, well, a reduced number of lives, although I don't think there's a difference in terms of like bloon speed, bloon health or whatsoever. So let's just try this on easy, and you might notice that some of these towers are the same. The only difference is that we got 3 new towers: a boomerang, monkey glue and road spikes. I think you guys know what road spike glue does. Monkey glue used to be a very old thing in Bloons TD up to Bloons TD5, where you can place some glue on the track and it glues out the training balloons. So yeah, thankfully the glue trap, which is much more superior. But either way, let's see what new upgrades we can get, cause I don't remember what upgrades you can get in Bloons TD2. So if I'm not wrong, that's the same thing as Bloons TD1. There's only 2 upgrades to this, and if we check, yep, there's only piercing darts and long range darts. I think they might change the price, but I'm not sure whether they change the function of how it works. So let's see what happens when we try to get longer range darts and super long range darts. Does the darts truly have infinite range this time? Maybe, maybe not. No, the darts still don't have infinite range in theory. So that's a shame, but we can still test out the other towers, such as the boomerang thrower. But let's go ahead and place on a boomerang monkey, which by the way, seems to be the exact same as Bloons TD1, by the way. I mean, in terms of design, it's just that the maps are kind of different. Also, the bugs are roughly the same. So let's see, we have multi-target and sonic boom. Sonic boom is a very old upgrade in up to Bloons TD4, where you can pop frozen balloons with the boomerang monkey. Whereas multi-target, well, it's pretty obvious, it can hit multiple balloons at once. So let's go ahead and see whether we can get multi-target an infinite number of times, and how that's going to change the game. Well, it's kind of difficult to see, but it is basically, well, infinite pierce for, well, Bloons TD2, because keep in mind, there isn't really that many balloons that comes out over here. But oh my god, you guys see the bug, the boomerang bug, where technically it's already going back to the monkey, but like it's still popping the balloons behind the boomerang monkey. It's strange, but whatever. But either way, there really isn't much to talk about. I just thought that it's interesting that after all this time, this bug's still here and Ninja Kiwi didn't fix them. But of course I can understand they dedicated their resources to other games that are more important. And besides, this game is like what, 12, 15 years old maybe, and what is like Ninja Kiwi in their infancy. So of course they're not going to fix the bugs. They're not as well established as they were today back then, especially when the Bloons TD series first came out. But thankfully, Ninja Kiri did evolve the Bloons TD series into, well, Bloons TD 6, what we see today. And yeah, even though they made some, well, strange mistakes along their way, I still think it's a fascinating bit of history, and the fact that these bugs could still be recreated is probably a testament to their legacy of having bugs forever in their Bloons series game in both Battles 2 and Bloons TD 6, and of course their delays to fix them, which is very funny in my opinion. It's carrying on the legacy for 15 years straight, but in all seriousness, I'm glad that we managed to get Bloons TD 6 after all this mess. So yeah, I've come to the end of the video, so thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you like this video, leave a comment if you have anything else to add, and I'll see you guys in the next video.